Hello everyone, welcome back to my second and final passion project submission. And today I'll be showing you my completed Wonders of the Ancient World. And hello everyone, welcome back to my second and final topic submission for my passion project for art history. And today I'll be showing you the ancient wonders of the world that I have completed. Just a disclaimer, I have not completed more than the original five I originally stated, uh, mainly because I overestimated hugely how much time and effort I would spend completing these things. Uh, P.S. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon took forever. I mean, forever. It was kind of ridiculous. I have overall spent about 60 hours on this project so far. Um, and, well, let's just start showing them, I guess. Um, First up, we have the Great Pyramids of Giza, the Pyramid of Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure. Um, These have not really changed. Actually, they haven't changed at all. I've just pasted them in the surroundings and done some light terrain work around them. Just add some sand dunes. You can see where it doesn't quite match the surrounding desert. But yes, life size, to scale. I don't need to say any more. On to the next one. Ta-da! The Lighthouse of Alexandria. Now, this one is probably my favorite. No, second favorite out of all of them. Um, mostly made of sandstone. It was built in Alexandria, Egypt, and it was built out into the harbor as literally what it is, a lighthouse. So, a lighthouse from that era would have probably used a mirror and a bonfire to warn ships coming in. I mean, that's what lighthouses do. For funsies, I made this one have some moving mechanics, kind of a thing. I imagine that's how they rotate the mirror, if they even rotated it at all. I'm not exactly sure. Uh, Now, this I based off of a few reference photos I found online, but since no one, since we don't even really know what it looks like, I did my best. It does, there are accurate measurements of its basic shape, and that it had a square bottom, octagonal middle, and a circular top. Um, I'm not so sure it actually had a courtyard or surrounding wall. I just added those because most of the reference photos had it. Um, Once again, it is in a desert. If yes, it is in a desert, kind of sticking out into the water. I tried to be accurate with that part. Um, but yes, some of these details, like maybe these crenellations or this red, I'm not exactly sure if that was there on the real thing, but uh, the nicest of the reference photos and the one with the most detail had it, so I went with it. I also think it just looks cool. Um, it did have floors, believe it or not. I've partially decorated the interior. Um, don't want to fly too fast, but yes, it had some floors. I didn't do anything with the floors, they're just hollow. But yes, this one, even though it took me one sitting, was probably the most challenging within that sitting. Um, just really refined it and added and whatnot, and I think it came out great. Um, but yeah, other than that, I mean, I don't know what else I can say. Um, just really cool kind of build, and honestly, kind of like the first thing other than the pyramids of Giza that someone might hear of an ancient structure. It's the pyramids, then it's the Lighthouse of Alexandria, and then probably the Library of Alexandria. But yeah. And then maybe the Gardens of Babylon. We'll get to those later, believe me. Um, but yeah, Now let's move on to the next one, which would be the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus. Alrighty, now here at the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus, the you could probably tell this one's unfinished mostly by design. I can't get the details of this one into a Minecraft world. It was heavily statued, uh, but yeah, it looks very plain without its statue and ornamentation. Um, Also, for some reason, I just cannot pronounce Helicarnassus properly. Uh, I don't know. It's really hard to say for me. I don't know why. But yeah, there's no accurate or easy way to get statues into Minecraft unless you build them like 40 times tall. And believe me, a single statue would dwarf this entire thing. This thing's actually really tiny compared to the others. This probably took me an hour. It was almost an afterthought. But yeah, it's very plain, very boring without its ornamentation, but it was added to Ptolemy's list of uh, wonders of the ancient world specifically because of its really, really beautiful ornamentation. And thankfully, we have examples of that nowadays. The remnants from the site that it used to sit in. It was technically built near the shoreline, but the closest approximation to a shoreline environment I could get was a grasslands or plains biome area that I have here. Open, verdant, and mostly flat. So I get pretty accurate to its historical location. But yeah, and this is, funnily enough, the mausoleum at Halicarnassus is the reason why we have the word mausoleum. Basically just a really big above ground tomb. Tomb would be in there somewhere. But yes, eh, not much I could else say for this one. It was built out of limestone and marble facing. But that's pretty much it. On to the next one. The Temple of Artemis. Now, this one gave me some pain. As you can see, it looks like some parts aren't finished with this awkward block here, this gray block. Uh, it's supposed to be white. Some of my tools that I'm using don't work well together, and believe me, this was perfect. I love this one so much. This is probably my third favorite after the Lighthouse of Alexandria. It was beautiful, but now that I've pasted it in, it honestly it's lost some of its charm. I really don't like it. I've managed to fix some of it, but not before I had to record this video. Other than that, it had the Temple of Artemis is the largest Greek temple ever built, large enough that it had an open courtyard in the middle, only the largest did. This is where the ginormous wooden statue of Artemis would have gone. But as I said, no good way to build statues unless they're ginormous and would absolutely just dwarf the building. So I'm not putting myself through that pain, and I'm not even going to try. Uh, but yeah, beautiful, beautiful interior had uh, beautiful ceilings, white columns of Doric and Ionic order. Um, it was two-storied with stairs. Um, and interestingly, I did research this. They were had there. You might expect this. Wooden beams in their ceilings, really heavy, uh, wooden framing, holding up all uh, their tile and plaster frescoes. Yeah. So this is typically what you might have found in the attic, so to speak. I just did air quotes there. But yes, honestly, just a really beautiful temple. As I said, the largest of its kind. Um, and the sister temple to the Temple of Apollo at Ephesus, I believe. They were basically about the same size, but this one was slightly larger and far more decorated. Beautiful colors. It was not even really just white, it was a whole range of colors from the red inside to the green pediments. Also missing lots of statues. I mean, I did what I could. I couldn't really add any. I tried, but I couldn't. Anyways, uh, I'm not sure what else I could say about this. Um, yeah, it's the largest. It made typical Greek fashion. It's an octa-style temple where it has 8 columns across the front. The Parthenon has 7, and the Parthenon for scale is about half the size, half the length of this thing. So it would be like a quarter to an eighth the size. It's kind of ridiculous how big this temple is in real life. Um, all that's left is a single mismatched pillar made out of bits and pieces of other pillars. Um, but the Temple of Apollo at least exists from like halfway up its columns down, so we have a good reference for how big the Temple of Artemis was in real life. Um, but yeah, other than that, let's move on to what? The final one? I believe. Yes, we've done the pyramids, the lighthouse, the mausoleum, and now this. Yes. So now the one you could probably guess what it is. The one that took me by far the longest of all of them. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Oh boy. Just looking at this makes me hurt. Uh, so you probably recognize this from the previous video. It looks significantly different. It is textured, it is covered in greenery, um, has a lot of water, but good Lord, this took hours of work. This one probably took half of the 50 or 60 hours, easy, that I spent on this project, from building the entire thing from a single reference image. Most other reference images were far too grandiose or ginormous or just simply like impossible. They were like fantasy artist recreations of what it looked like, artistic versions and renditions. But I eventually found one from about this angle of what it might have looked like, and I liked it so much that I actually copied an entire corner and just mirrored it 4 times. Um, and like I might eventually show I took did take a side by side photo, or I might show the two photos side by side just to give you how close and how hard I tried to recreate that one reference image. But yeah, this took blooming ages to complete. Uh, Almost every single tree you see here, every single Minecraft tree, I placed every single one of those by hand. I didn't build the tree by hand. No, no, no. I placed a sapling and then let it grow, and it grew this, but I placed every single one by hand. And all this foliage, all this grass and bushes and these paths, I placed those by hand. This took absolutely forever. All the vines and the water features, placed those by hand. This was, I would like to say this was a nightmare to do, but yes. Um, just really, 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 uh, I'm like, I don't even really know what to say. I'm both really tired and extremely proud of this one. This one is my favorite by far. Honestly, I was just channeling my inner garden master almost, like just design your own garden. Um, these water features, all the little details. You can walk about this for like an hour and just see all the cool little features I added, all the water, the trees, the gardening I did. Uh, you could if you did, you would probably notice that from the top towards the bottom, I got a little more rushed and a little more, a little haphazard, a bit more randomly placed, kind of a vibe to it. I still did some plenty of details, but yeah, uh, goodness. Yeah, there's walking paths. I mean, honestly, it's just like this is This is a forest mountain. It's a man-made forest mountain with gates in the sides that lead to nowhere. But yes, this um, Babylon was built in kind of an arid area near the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Uh, it was kind of hard to grow plants, which is the whole point of this, was so that it would be easier to grow plants uh by kind of like raising them up and then like letting water trickle from the top down and helping water them all. The whole point behind the Hanging Gardens of Babylon was that it naturally the area was not a good place for plants. So they built a mountain to plant everything on. Now they didn't use this for agricultural use. They used this just for like the palace. This was, I think, a present to the then queen of the king who built this. I completely forget their names, and weirdly enough, I didn't write them down. I probably should have written them down. But anyways, oh, this is, I'm proud and tired of this. Oh my gosh. Anyways, yeah, probably 30 hours right there. Um, I do want to continue working on this after I turn this project in, and it'll be turned in late as it is. But yes, uh, this itself was a passion project all of its own, let alone the other four. And not to mention the other 10 or so structures I listed as possible to-dos after I finished them, but I completely underestimated my ability in this. And I think I just how so overdid myself, overextended myself. It was a good learning experience. I won't try to take, I won't try to bite so much, take a bite so big, but goodness, this was painstaking. I'm really proud of this. Like if I, like I'm a creative person in a really weird way, and this stretched my creative limits, and I think made me just a better designer and builder in Minecraft, but like in life in general. Uh, this 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 build itself was a learning experience, and combined with the other four, I'm really proud of what I've done. This is I don't think anyone has ever built two scale recreations of the five great wonders of the world that I built, but I don't think anyone's ever built a two scale Hanging Gardens of Babylon in Minecraft before. Oh, sure, people have done art on it and probably just made concept models, but in Minecraft, constrained by the limitations of Minecraft, and in so adding a creative, like challenging aspect to it, I think I outdid myself. I think I've really made a work of art here. This is beautiful. But yeah, uh, well, tell me what you think. If you really like this, hit the like button, leave a comment, and if you really like this, consider subscribing. I mean, I really want to continue doing this work. I really want to continue doing this and other builds like this, adding this much detail to something. It's hard, but I think it's well worth it. Anyways, y'all have a good day and bye bye.